one of you wants to call in with one of your unpopular takes, which is our prompt right now. What is your unpopular take ahead of next season? And one of you has some pretty good feeling around USC here in 2025. Take a listen.
JD, calling to leave my most unpopular college football opinion for this year. I'm a huge USC football fan, and I have to be honest with you, aside from how excited I am about the 2026 class, I really think with the schedule they have this year, it is a very soft schedule for them on a team that should be greatly improved on both the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. I like the momentum they're building right now. I think they're college football playoff bound. But to take it a step further, to make it an unpopular opinion, I'll say it's a championship caliber team in the Big Ten this season. Go Trojans, fight on.
All right, there you have it. 629-888-3931. USC, not just a playoff team for my guys' money, Big Ten title team. For context, USC right now is tied for the 5th best odds to win the conference with Nebraska. If you think that's disrespectful, more power to you. I might lean towards the way that you feel about that. I think USC, we said it before already, but I think they're probably the most misunderstood team in college football because they finished 6-6, and you see that record, and your mind goes to 6-6 must be average. I mean, you don't usually go from average to great. It happens in college football, but not all that often. USC, maybe they can be all right next year, but 6-6 tells us exactly what they are, right? No. 6-6 does not begin to tell the story of what USC was last year. They had a lead in the fourth quarter of all of their losses except for Notre Dame. And in that Notre Dame game, they were driving in the fourth quarter to go tie it up before they threw a pick six. So I understand now. You don't get to go back and do revisionist history and say, well, if this happened, that happened, we would have been this. I hear that. But we would be foolish to not look at them taking Penn State to overtime, taking Notre Dame in the fourth quarter to a game, a team who played for the national championship. It's not hard to look at USC when you actually watch the games and say, hey, they're pretty close. Now, pretty close doesn't get you anything, but when you're pretty close, I think it's not irresponsible to say they could go from pretty close to not just close. They could be actually good in 2025 and be a team that's in the college football playoff discussion. Box score does not tell you how good USC was a year ago. Now, if I'm a USC fan, I feel confident, I think more so. The schedule's one part of it, for sure. But I feel confident in the kinds of questions we're now asking around USC. How many times the last couple of years were you saying, golly, if we could just have a defense, if we could have a defense that held teams to less than 24 points a game, we would be a national title contender. That was your thought process, right? Because you trust Lincoln Riley, you trust the offense, all those things. Y'all, you're not asking about the defense anymore. The defensive culture, for my money, I think for everybody that watched USC last year, it is very, very evidently different. You credit Dan Lynn, credit Eric Henderson. They walked into that building and changed the temperature and changed the perspective, I think, internally of what you see in the mirror when you look at USC defense. I think that is massive. I know that a large part of this, too, is personnel-driven. I totally get that, but I really believe that the way that USC views themselves now defensively, that's where it starts. That's where the true power starts for USC, and they're in a good place there. So your questions are, do we have a quarterback, and can we finish games? Can we find a way to win these games in the fourth quarter that we're tied or we're leading or whatever? Can we find a way to get it done? I want to start with that first part of that question, though. Do we have a quarterback? I like Jaden Maiava. I think he's going to be really good. Reason why I feel that way, one, he was handpicked by Lincoln Riley out of the transfer portal. All right, Jaden Maiava at one point in time was committed to Georgia and then says, actually, I'm flipping. Kirby Smart, thanks so much. I'm going to go play for a quarterback guru in Lincoln Riley. Even just the clues there of could have gone and played at Georgia. You think Kirby Smart's taking a slouch? I don't think so. I mean, I think who wants your talent should speak volumes to the talent that you're after in and of itself. So the fact that he was handpicked by Lincoln Riley says a lot to me. Should be noted, Miller Moss was not recruited by Lincoln Riley to USC. Okay, he was not someone you handpicked and brought to USC. I just want to make sure that's clear. That's not knocking Miller Moss, but that's just the facts of the matter. Two, I love how Jaden Maiava seems to be wired. Because people say this so much about quarterback. It's all about what's going on upstairs. How does their mind work? How are they psychologically? I saw Jaden Maiava in multiple spots against Notre Dame and against A&M. Start a little bit slow, throw a couple of picks, just kept spinning it, man. I think that's the mark of a great competitor and a great quarterback is things don't go your way and you don't flinch. This was Cam Ward last year. This was, I think, Marcel Reed a year ago too at A&M. This was DJ Lagway last year. When you don't flinch, when things are not going your way, the mental toughness that takes, I think that's huge. Also, it's worth noting, too, your teammates respond to you a certain way when that happens. Like seeing Jaden Maiava throw a pick and laugh it off and then go back there and sling it the next series. I mean, teammates respond to that. So he's got some psycho to him. He's got some vocal to him. I really like that, and I think that's going to benefit USC. And then lastly, he's got some wiggle to him. Like Miller Moss wasn't the most mobile character in the world. Think about all the quarterbacks Lincoln Riley's had success with. Kyler Murray, I mean, super mobile. Caleb Williams, same deal. But like even Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, guys that could just create when the play broke down a little bit. I'm not saying Jaden Maiava is Kyler Murray, but he's got enough athleticism to him to where if the play breaks down, he can break, contain, eyes downfield, make a throw. I think Lincoln Riley, for whatever reason, seems to excel with those kind of quarterbacks. So to me, the quarterback question, while it's a fair question to have because you want to see what he is, there's a lot there that makes me feel good about Jaden Maiava. Now, the other question is, can we finish in the fourth quarter? Let's be real. This is a Lincoln Riley-based question. It is. Do we have the culture in place to where when it's our guys versus your guys and we're up in the fourth quarter or we're tied in the fourth quarter, can we smell blood in the water and finish the freaking deal? I understand where this comes from. I think a little bit, though, we're kind of forgetting who Lincoln Riley is. Like Lincoln Riley is a guy that's been to the college football playoff in the 4-team format 3 separate times at Oklahoma. Like I think we're just dismissing how good of a coach Lincoln Riley actually is. Like George Clooney, I couldn't tell you the last blockbuster he's been in. He's still George Clooney, dude. It's still someone you got to take seriously whenever he jumps on the screen. Lincoln Riley, to me, the same way. We're all just dismissing what he's been the last couple of years because USC's defense was bad, whatever. Defense not bad anymore, dude. Defense in a good spot. Lincoln Riley knows how to win. Won at a high level a lot of places. Just because he hasn't won a national championship yet doesn't mean he's not a good coach. So I think that the idea of them not being able to finish games, I'm sure Lincoln Riley, we had him on the show. He told us that's something we've harped on all year long, all offseason long, all winter conditioning long. That's what we're talking about. It's just lip service right now, but I trust the approach that I feel like USC is taking right now. Process-oriented, being dialed into the details. Notice, too, it's a little more quiet around USC than it has been in the past. Like, recruiting is one thing. There's buzz there. But, like, in terms of the actual on-field product, it feels like USC maybe isn't quite as much in the spotlight as they had been. I think that's a good thing. There's no Heisman quarterback hype like there has been in the past. There's no preseason hype of can they be a dark horse playoff team, except for our call from our guy here. I think the desire to be process-driven, the quiet nature around it, I think that benefits exactly where USC is right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. So USC, it sounds crazy to think they could be a playoff team, a Big Ten title team, but based on last year, based on the questions we're asking, I like USC a lot, man, and I don't apologize for it. So great call. Appreciate you adding into the conversation there. Good stuff as always. Again, 629-888-3931.